From KFDX3 News, your local election headquarters. KFDX3 News at 6 starts now.
Hello, Texoma, and thanks for joining us for a digital-only edition of KFDX3 News at 6. I'm Nicholas Qualick. Well, some residents in Texoma hit the ballot box today for the May municipal election, and as your local election headquarters, we're keeping an eye on several races that may impact you at home. And bringing you team coverage through the evening, Jaron Spohr, Shatanya Clark, and Landon McBride. And we're going to start things off with Jaron, who joins us from Cityview ISD, one of 3 school districts hosting bond elections tonight. Jaron?
Cityview ISD officials are hoping within the next hour or so they will get the results they are looking for with the school bond vote. The Cityview bond is a $10 million bond that would bring some major improvements to Cityview ISD, such as adding classrooms, fixing bathrooms, changing 40-year-old AC and heating units, and adding a new administration building. Resident Michael Parker thinks this bond will pass.
I feel like a lot of the people that I know that were kind of on the fence, that were like, you know, I don't know if we need all of this, that, and the other. Once the town hall meetings were done and people got to see that and listen to that, the information that was handed out to the community, some of the people that were on the fence, when I talked to them later on, when the voting was going on, you know, they were all for it.
If the bond goes through, residents will now see an 8-cent tax increase. That means for a $100,000 home, a homeowner who lives within Cityview ISD would pay $60 more a year in taxes. If you haven't voted yet, you can vote here at the high school. Also coming up tonight at 10, I'll have reaction, pass or fail from Cityview's superintendent.
All right, looking forward to it, Jaron. Thanks a lot. Today's election in Cityview is taking place just a few months after the district's former tax collector was charged in an alleged embezzlement scheme and was later fired. Judith Ann Heaston is accused of stealing nearly $325,000 by manipulating tax software. The president of the tax software company told investigators software had been manipulated to cover up the discrepancies, and this manipulation went back at least 8 years. Wichita County deputies said he checked Heaston's personal bank account, and it showed numerous large cash deposits since 2002. Also hoping taxpayers will vote for a multi-million-dollar bond is Iowa Park CISD. Shatanya Clark joins us live from the Iowa Park Administration Building.
Nick, school leaders are hoping taxpayers will vote on a $24.5 million bond. The funds will go toward improving the W.F. George Middle School that has portions of the building built as far back as 1923. And while more than $18 million would go toward structural repairs to the W.F. George Middle School, funds would also ensure facility upgrades to the Ag Science facility, the high school, and 2 elementary schools.
Right now, we're feeling pretty optimistic about it. There were 28 community members on this committee, and we've had a group of those, about 8 or 10 of those, that have continued working through this process. They have put out signs in support of the bond.
But some Iowa Park residents like Jay Irwin believe that while they want the best for the children, they don't believe now is the right time for a passed bond.
I have seen how resilient school kids are in all sorts of physical and emotional situations, and I know that they can be encouraged to learn wherever they are.
If the bond passes, residents will see a 20-cent tax increase, and that means someone who lives in a $100,000 home would pay $16 more a month in property taxes. However, residents 65 and older would not see a tax increase. And if you haven't gotten out yet to cast your vote, you have until 7 o'clock to cast your vote at the Friendly Door Senior Citizen Center. And I'll have more on this bond, whether it passes or fails, at KFDX3 News at 10 o'clock.
We'll see. All right, Shatanya, thanks very much. Over in Hardeman County, there is a $7.5 million bond election happening for the Chillicothe ISD to build a new cafeteria. The bond includes renovating the existing cafeteria into classrooms, as well as building a new cafeteria that would have a cafetorium, kitchen performance stage, and a bus loop for elementary carpool. The measure also includes building a new agricultural building for the district's growing vocational program. The new building would consist of a wood shop, metal shop, and paint booth.
Having a modern space that we can teach the kids the skills that they will be using when they get out into the real world. And having the right environment for them to learn in would be perfect, having the proper ventilation.
If the bond passes, the tax rate would increase by 13 cents. So for a $100,000 home, that would be an estimated $10.83 per month. And just as in the Iowa Park bond election, those 65 and over are exempted. In Burke-Burnett, residents there are deciding if the police department will put civil service in place. Landon McBride is in Burke-Burnett and joins us there for more.
Throughout the day, there's been a steady stream of people going in to cast their vote, and the Texas Municipal Police Association introduced this idea to the Burke-Burnett City Commission back in March. They said the benefits of the Burke-Burnett police joining the civil service won't cost the taxpayers anything, but some of the Burke-Burnett commissioners question that, and the citizens in Burke-Burnett are split on which is the better option for the police department.
What I consider the good old boy system is no longer being in effect. They'll have to go by state regulations that are set by the state, not by the city.
So far, it's boards that I've seen around here. Everything seems to be all right. The cars, vehicles, and everything they're getting seems to be all right.
That's some real shit.
And if this ballot measure passes, the policies and wages for the police department would be determined by the state civil service system. And the polls are still open until 7, so you still have time to get here to the community center in Burke-Burnett to cast your ballot.
All right, Lana, thanks very much. Those living in the Olney Hamilton Hospital District are being asked to make sure the hospital and its resources stay around for many more years. Hospital officials say the 25 cents per 100 cap established 30 years ago is now worth about 15 cents. On the ballot, residents within the hospital district could approve the hospital having the option, if it's needed, to use the Texas max cap at 75 cents per 100. If approved, it's not a 50-cent automatic increase, rather the ability to utilize the cap over time again when and if needed. Olney Hamilton Hospital is more than 110 years old and has been a hospital district since 1990. Officials say the hospital and 2 rural health clinics tend to more than 18,500 patients from citizens over a 5-county area. The ER reportedly sees more than 3,500 patients each year. And services include a full range of rehab, wellness, pain management, an allergy clinic, and wound care, just to mention a few.
21 hospitals have closed, and they have the same profile as ours. They are freestanding rural hospitals, subject to the same cuts and the same regulations that everyone else. We don't want them to be number 22.
The homestead exemption allows the hospital to not bring tax increases to those 65 and older on fixed incomes. And though the hospital district serves Archer County, residents there and residents outside the district would not see an increase if approved. Another race we're watching is happening in Montague County, where voters will be deciding whether cities can annex new areas without first holding an election. Residents put this on the ballot through a petition. Now, if they vote for the issue, then cities in Montague must hold elections before annexing. Now, currently, Texas law allows cities to annex new areas outside city limits without those residents' permission. Under a recent law, a few larger counties are now required to let those residents vote before they can be annexed. However, smaller counties can only obtain that protection by holding an election. Now, this race has gained the attention of many, including State Senator Pat Fallon.
We're going to try to do this across the state anyhow and give all citizens the right that Tier 2 counties have, which is 500,000 or above, or folks that have passed a Tier 2 ballot initiative.
So far, 6 Texas counties have voted to end forced annexation without elections. Again, polling places are open until 7 tonight, so you still have some time to head to the ballot box. And as they come in, you can find the results over on Texomashomepage.com. Just click on the election banner. You can also find results by downloading the free Texoma to Go app. It's available on Apple and Android devices. We'll have reaction from tonight's elections later on KFDX 3 News at 10. We hope to see you then.